Yo, so this is gonna be something new for this channel. First off, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about this channel. I just assumed that everyone that um, follows me would follow me on social media and sort of know that I'm still uploading music. I released an album last year called Project 2025. I haven't released any content on this YouTube channel because DistroKid uploads my music to YouTube, so I just assume everyone got it. But in case you guys haven't received the message, or the memo, I'm still making music. You can check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, or even YouTube. Check out Project 2025. That's dope. My best project yet. Jordan came out before that. Really dope and prolific project. Um, Two very unique projects. If you listen to my music, a lot of you guys are probably from Chicago or somewhere else um, that have been following this channel for a while or following me for a while. You know that I make very unique hip hop music, experimental music. Um, Started singing too, so yeah, I'm gonna do unique and alternative stuff based off of that as well. Haven't changed. If anything, I'm expanding more um, to the music. I'm fully committed now to try to get everything together. No longer a teenager, of course, an adult. So if I'm going to keep on doing music, it has to be justified. Um, so I have to take it more serious and be more, I guess, systematic in my approach in getting the message out there and being intentional with my time. So that being said, why am I making this video? Well, I'm making this video to break down. Right now, I'm sick, so my music practice time is not really available. Kind of is, but sometimes I get so focused into the practice and into the pursuit of music to where I forget the people side of it. So now at 26 years old, I'm realizing what I'm lacking is the people side of it. So I'm just putting out content here to talk to you guys and break down my thoughts on some of the work that I've done over the years. Um, I wanted to talk about this particular piece of writing that I've done. Majority of my songs at this point are storytelling based. I don't feel like I need to go and break them down because they don't require much thought. It's a narrative. It's simple. This character does this. The character is me or some other character I made up. This character does this. Therefore, if this happens or this doesn't happen, there's irony. I mean, it's very straightforward. But if you guys feel like it's not as straightforward, some of my songs are not as straightforward. If you feel like they're not as straightforward, you want me to talk about my interpretation of the story and my intention for the story, because that's something that probably you can't get as a listener, right? You have to hear from me because that's my perspective. And you just of course, you could comment that or text me. A lot of you guys know me personally or DM me, whatever. Um, but I wanted to pick this specific one because amino battles are still happening. And recently we had a battle. We had a very dope battle from K versus Swath. Very, very, very dope battle. Check that out, guys. Appreciate that battle. Battle rap could be a very powerful thing and very culturally unifying thing. Of course, it's the underlying motive is competition, but there's some great art that comes out of it. And I think K and Swath have done their thing, putting in the work to entertain the crowd. There was another battle that wasn't very good. I'd stand against it as an artist. I'm not even going to mention that. I don't hold no punches about that. I think the battle was horrendous. And I think it's time to really at least show what I would want in an artist in writing. And this is not to say that I want people to copy me or be exactly like me or think like me. I've been accused of that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say an example. I could break down another artist, but I feel like an artist or another person breaking down another person's art can only go so far. I can break down my words, break down what I say, break down my intentions, and give the most detail that way. And it's just a critique on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like oftentimes in the past, I have put myself separate from hip hop culture or music culture in general in the pursuit of being contrarian or being different or just being insecure about the art. and I have the right to speak about my art like any other artist has the right to speak about their art, and to not dumb it down, right? To actually give a vision. We're living in times where people are becoming more and more and more and more and more dumb, and want things more and more and more and more and more dumbed down for them. I feel like as an artist, we should challenge that, as many great artists do, challenge the culture. So this is me breaking down. Shady and I just tried, or we're talking about doing reaction to each other's videos. He's busy doing his own channel, super dope. He's shouting out, showing people love. And honestly, to be fair, he could break down his own stuff because he wrote it, and I feel like, you know, me breaking it down, I probably won't do as much justice as he would like or he would want. And not just saying him specifically, but any other artist. You know, I think, you know, him telling you guys his mindset behind his rounds is more interesting than if I say it about him. I can only speculate. So I know that introduction was long. What was that? 6 minutes. It was long. You can skip it if you want. But here we go. We're gonna go into it. This is my first round to my battle with Shady. I think it's very dense. There's a lot of historical references, a lot of metaphors, a lot of allegory here. So I just want to break it down from my perspective. I'm not sure how the audio is gonna pick up, so I'm gonna try to quote myself line by line. We'll see how it goes. I'm not a reaction channel, so I'm trying my best here. All right, let's go.
Now.
Intro.
What animal is this? What animal is this? Down.
All right, everybody mute your mic. I'm going first.
Here we go.
Look, I said, I'm establishing my sea legs again, Shady. This wave hasn't been mine in a minute. See, there was a time where I could dive in these waters and wrestle with the sharks within it.
Okay, so already right there's a lot going on. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but already right there's a lot going on. I said, I'm establishing my sea legs again, Shady. These waves haven't been mine in a minute. What that means is, if you don't know the basically the phrase sea legs, when someone says I'm gaining my sea legs or whatever, that means they're gaining their footing. You know, you put your legs in the sea, whatever, it's like you're unstable, you're gaining your footing. And it ties into the idea of these waves haven't been mine in a minute. The wave, the amino wave, cultural wave, so it's been have been mine in a minute. The next line is, see, there was a time where what I say? Hold on, my bad.
I met the Midgard serpent, the Kraken.
Okay, this is
Crazy.
And I'm establishing my sea legs again, Shady. This wave hasn't been mine in a minute. See, there was a time where I could dive in these waters and wrestle with the sharks within it.
Okay, so basically it's like, I'm establishing my sea legs again, Shady. These waves haven't been mine. This wave hasn't been mine in a minute. The amino battle. This wave hasn't been mine in a minute. This scene has been mine in a minute. See, there was a time where I can dive in these waters and wrestle with the sharks within it. Meaning, there was a time where I could just come into this arena and just battle anyone, acknowledging that time has passed, because at this point I haven't battled in years. So anyone, let alone amino, I haven't battled in years. So already with those lines, there's a lot of allusion to that and context.
I met the Midgard serpent, the Kraken, the Bermuda triangles with raps, and I lived to write my lyrics. The fountain of youth Europeans wind up already laid and bathed and spent days drenched in its liquid.
Okay, so I met the Midgard serpent, the Kraken, the Bermuda triangles with raps, and I live to write my lyrics. If you know anything about like history, like I guess sailor history, whatever, the Midgard serpent, of course, you know, there's Asgard, you know, in a lot of Nordic mythology and all that. We live in Midgard according to that, and there's a monster called the Midgard serpent, the Kraken. Everyone knows the Kraken. I don't know where that comes from. I should, but I don't know where that comes from. But obviously, it's a monster in the ocean. The Bermuda Triangle, of course, people sail to the Bermuda Triangle, come up missing. I'm saying I survived to write my story. I ventured out into these waters before, and I survived to write my story. If you know anything about the amino history, it's basically I won the tournament. I was undefeated at that point, and I'm basically saying I'm coming out I lived through this wave. I've sailed through this. I lived through this. Establish your credibility that way. All right, let's go back.
Found peace. There is a Zion, Shady, just like the one written by Christians.
Okay, hold on, let's go back.
I met the Midgard Serpent, the Kraken, the Bermuda Triangles with raps, and I lived to write my lyrics. The fountain of youth, Europeans wind up already laid and bathed and spent days stretching its liquid.
Okay, so another line. See, this is so. For people that don't like history, like I do, this is pretty dense. So I this video is probably, it's 5 minutes just on a couple lines. Okay, so the fountain of youth, Europeans wanted. I've already bathed and spent days. I'm butchering the line, but already bathed and spent days drenched in this liquid. And then the next line is, there is a Zion, Shady, just like the one written by Christians, basically saying that I've already sailed, lived to write my lyrics. I've already gotten the treasure that everybody want, in this case Europeans, that people wanted, the fountain of youth. And I know I know that there is a promised land. And I know what I go into say the next line, but I'm gonna let it play. I've already seen this. Basically, I've already gotten the rewards at the end of all this sailing. At the end of all this venture, at the end of this wave, I've already gotten it. Establishing, like, yes, I've already beaten this level. Essentially, I've already gotten this. And the next line, I know I'm just gonna go into it and dive more into it. Is like, there is a Zion. There is a promised land. There is essentially a promised land. Yeah, I already know that because I already beat this level. Basically, is what I'm saying. All right.
Found peace. There is a Zion, Shady, just like the one written by Christians. And it's not in death like Valhalla.
It's not in death like Valhalla. It's one we can
currently live in. But in order to start living in the vision that I mentioned, drop amino history, study actual history, and we can have new beginnings.
So yeah, so this is tying into and at the end of this round, I announced Project 2025 because if you with Jorda and Project 2025, so if you listen to my mixtapes, my projects before, there's always a conscientious message to it, or at the end of it. And Jorda and Project 25, I feel like I've just gotten to be a better artist to where they're more clear. But I say there's honestly just like the one written by Christians, and it's not in death like Valhalla. It's one we could currently live in. But in order to start living in this vision that I've mentioned, drop amino history, study actual history, and we can have new beginnings. Like we can start anew if you give up what was in the past. And of course, this idea is linked into Project 2025. If you listen to Project 2025, you know that my song "The Whole World" and just throughout the project is mocking those that are ignorant, willfully so ignorant, and telling them to read, to be more literate, to be more curious. Jordan is the same exact way. Be more literate, be more curious. And I'm telling Shady because and Shady is a very smart and intelligent dude. But of course I'm battling him, so I have to make him look like he's, an idiot. I'm battling him. He's, whatever. So obviously this message could have been probably more accurate with somebody else. Shady is an intelligent dude. I have the utmost respect for him. He's a great dude. He's one of my the greatest friends I've met, especially online. So I'm this is not to like bash shit. This is how Shady is. No, we're not clearly beefing. We're battling, right? So basically what I'm saying is like with the message that I had since Jordan and my moral set. If you listen to me talk, whatever, my moral set, which is knowledge is power. I've been saying that for a long time, but the music has been really clear over that knowledge is power, experimentation is power, self-discovery, all that kind of stuff. Reasoning is power, is the moral paramount, and is the greatest moral foundation you can have. So I'm telling him, basically, study actual history, study what's going on instead of being stuck in amino. And this line is also more powerful if you're able to catch up. It's also more powerful because I'm referencing actual history in it and using those analogies and allegory to justify what has happened in amino and myths that have happened throughout history, and bringing them together. So that's basically that line, and that all that took almost 10 minutes to explain just the first thought. So, I mean, I understand people say, like, oh, it's too complex. I'd rather give Shady the round because it was more straightforward. I get it, but I have the right to, of course, explain my writing. Here you go.
Lately, I've been studying the past to establish a better present. Confucianism. And what have you been doing, Shady? Nothing different. I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn and got a new existence.
Okay, so, I said lately I've been studying the past to establish a better present. Confucianism, straightforward Confucianism, past, but Confucianism. And what have you been doing, Shady? Nothing different. I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn, and got a new. What did I say? Got a new existence. And that has to be explained as well. Hold on.
That I mentioned, drop amino history, study actual history, and we can have new beginnings. Lately, I've been studying the past to establish a better present. Confucianism. And what have you been doing, Shady? Nothing different. I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn and got a new existence. Okay. So, basically, Confucianism philosophy, obviously. And what have you been doing, Shady? Nothing different. I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn and got a new existence. If you know the phrase, a coward dies 1,000 times, the rumor during this time with everybody in the crowd was, you're not battling because you're scared. You're not battling because you're scared. And this ties into what I'm saying earlier. See, my thoughts are connected. If you know, even when I'm freestyling, whatever, one of my strengths is that my thoughts connect. It's not random, sporadic. I'm not trying to impress you. I have a goal. I have a message, sentiment I want to give to you. That's the mentality I come as a songwriter, as a lyricist, is I want to tell the story. I want to tell a story. I want to tell people something. So I said, I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn and got a new existence. Connecting, basically I've left, not because I'm a coward, and I haven't died 1,000 times. I just been reborn. I just been born again. I grew up. I got a new existence. And the next line is, I'm gonna just let it play, and then so I can not butcher my own verse. Acceptance from celebs and women. I'm sickened. This fake depiction of you acting indifferent, materialistic. I snatch your jewels and bury you with it, like ancient Egyptians.
Okay, so that's a lot of rhyming. So it's like, okay, so basically it's like this fake depiction of you acting indifferent. I think I switched it, but like, you're still chasing acceptance from celebs and women. Materialistic. You're so no. What did I say, bro? It's my own. I'm sorry, y'all. I have it. I'm just replaying this in case you haven't heard the audio.
Just like the one written by Christians. And it's not in death like Valhalla. It's one we can currently live in. But in order to start living in the vision that I mentioned, drop amino history, study actual history, and we can have new beginnings. Lately, I've been studying the past to establish a better present. Confucianism. And what have you been doing, Shady? Nothing different. I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn and got a new existence. You're still chasing acceptance from celebs and women. I'm sickened. This fake depiction of you acting indifferent.
You're still chasing acceptance from celebs and women. So obviously celebrities, celebs and women. I'm sickened. This fake depiction of you acting indifferent, materialistic. I snatch your jewels and bury you with it like ancient Egyptians. Okay, so obviously the ancient Egyptians buried the jewels with the pharaohs. They believe they could take it into the afterlife. That's how it is. Referencing the historical point back earlier in the round, and it's just a witty simile to add at the end of that. I believe I switched the idea after that to something else, but here we go.
I snatch your jewels and bury you with it like ancient Egyptians. This hustler fantasy you have, where nothing is realistic, that's the last straw, man. Pretending you keep the metal on your body, you lying. That yellow brick road won't lead you to riches. You're in a made-up world where you're always rich in the highest position. You're not really a wizard making rappers disappear. I know how your story ends. It's been written, not by the Wizard of Oz, but your last battle. You admitted you're not a magician. Oh.
All right, so that to me is very clever. Of course, I've already pat myself on the back. So here's what I said. Okay, so I do switch. I just know how my mind works. I do switch after that. I'm like, okay, I want to end this on this. There's a lot of density there. There's a lot going on there, but
it's a better present. Confucianism. And what have you been doing, Shady?
Nothing different.
I haven't died 1,000 times, but I've been reborn and got a new existence. You're still chasing acceptance from celebs and women. I'm sickened. This fake depiction of you acting indifferent, materialistic. I snatch your jewels and bury you with it like ancient Egyptians.
Okay.
This hustler fantasy you have,
where nothing is realistic, that's the last straw, man. Pretending to keep the metal on your body, you're lying. All right, so this hustler fantasy you have, I'm gonna butcher it a little bit. The hustler fantasy you have, that's the last straw, man. Pretend you keep the metal on your body, you lying. If if your mind works like switches schemes very fast. I'm rapping at a pretty fast pace here. If your mind switches schemes very fast, and you've been watching battle rap, you know I'm about to set up a scheme. So I'm emphasizing. So I say, this hustler fantasy you have where nothing is realistic, that's the last straw, man. Naturally, people do not talk like that. So when a battle rapper or rapper says that, you know they're setting up another idea, because naturally people don't talk. This hustler fantasy you have where nothing is realistic, that's the last straw, man. Pretending you keep the metal on your body, you lying. I'm emphasizing that. So that's, if you watch battle rap, you know that I'm doing something. Like I'm saying up. That's the last straw, man. But if you say you keep the metal on your body, you lying. Okay.
Won't lead you to riches. You're in a made-up world where you're always rich in the distance. You're still chasing acceptance of celebs and women. I'm sickened. This fake depiction of you acting indifferent, materialistic. I snatch your jewels and bury you with it, like ancient Egyptians.
Okay.
This hustler fantasy you have, where nothing is realistic, that's the last straw, man. Pretending to keep the metal on your body, you lying. That yellow brick road won't lead you to riches.
Okay, that keep the metal on your body, you lying. That yellow brick road won't lead you to riches. Okay, so, okay. It's all explanatory.
Made-up world where you're always rich in the highest position.
You're in a made-up world where you're always rich and in the highest position. You guys should know Wizard of Oz. If not, watch the movie or read a synopsis. It's a classic. Come on.
I'm not really a wizard making rappers disappear. I know how your story ends. It's been written, not by the Wizard of Oz, but your last battle. You admitted you're not a magician.
Will lead you to riches. You're not a wizard making rappers disappear. I know how your story ends. It's been written. And if you're catching up, and you know the Wizard of Oz is not really a wizard. And I'm saying it's been written. And if you're catching up, you'll be like, oh, he's referencing Wizard of Oz. And I'm saying not by the Wizard of Oz, your last battle. You're admitted you're not a magician. Now, Shady in his last battle with Swath, his previous battle at this point with Swath, before me, he said, I'm not a magician. I can't make your problems disappear, something like that. I'm not a magician. I can't make your problems disappear, something like that. He has to explain that line himself, but I'm just saying that was basically a rebuttal to his last stuff. It's like, you even said this yourself, and it's kind of funny. Obviously, he meant it in a different context, but it's kind of funny.
See how I hit him with so much precision? I had to say 3 times because that's my history, and I keep it consistent. Let's be real.
Okay, so this is something that, looking back, it probably would have been more effective if I said it earlier. I'm willing to critique myself. So after I say, it's been written, not by Wizard of Oz, but your last battle, you admit you're not a magician. So in my mind, I know why I put it there, but then afterwards, just to relieve tension, I say, oh. See how I hit him with so much precision? I said 3 times because that's what happened in our last. What did I say? I'm my bad, y'all. I should have been more prepared.
You're not really a wizard making rappers.
We're making it up on the spot.
I know how your story ends. It's been written, not by the Wizard of Oz, but your last battle. You admitted you're not a magician.
Oh.
See how I hit him with so much precision? I had to say 3 times because that's my history, and I keep it consistent.
I had to say 3 times because that's my history, and I keep it consistent. Like, now this is my history. You said what you had to say in your last battle. Already explained what I went through, all this type of stuff. But me personally, I'm a winner. I win all 3 rounds, and I'm gonna keep it consistent here. I've done all that in the past or whatever, and I'm gonna keep it consistent. Keep it consistent here. You've written your story with the magician line, of course, exaggerating what he means by that line to benefit me or battlers. And this is my history. I'm gonna keep it consistent. All right, let's continue.
Be real. You want to hear me rap, so this battle will hurt and not hurt you. My mind grows out of this world's rounds like crop circles. You want to be outside in the field with me? I will outwork you. Read more at the end of the day. I will out.
Okay. Let's keep it real. You want to hear me rap, so this battle will hurt and not hurt you. My mind grows out of this world rounds like crop circles. Okay, so alien conspiracy. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you know anything about alien conspiracy, you would know where that line comes from.
My mind grows out of this world rounds like crop circles. You want to be outside in the field with me? I will outwork you. Read more at the end of the day. I will out-earn you. You feel like you just got a meal? I will out-serve you. I expose the fact you're not eating for real, then desert you. You challenged me after I supported your battle? That's her.
Okay, so there's a lot going on. Okay, so okay, I can skip over some of this because it's already long. But basically, I'm saying you want to go out in the field with me, I'll outwork you. The crop circles, I'll outwork you. Reap more at the end of the day, I will out earn you. You front on me like you just got a meal, I'll outserve you. I'll expose the fact you're not eating for real, then desert you. Of course, dessert has two meanings here. Is dessert like you eat dessert, and then dessert like I leave you alone. Like I come here, I expose you, I leave you alone. That's basically it.
I'm the God and you betrayed me, brother. I'll curse you. Rest. Oh, see how I hit him with so much precision? I had to say oh 3 times because that's my history, and I keep it consistent. Let's be real. You want to hear me rap, so this battle will hurt and not hurt you. My mind goes out of this world rounds like crop circles. You want to be outside in the field with me? I will outwork you. Read more at the end of the day, I will out-earn you. You friend like you just got a meal? I will out-serve you. I expose the fact you're not eating for real, then desert you. You challenge me after I supported your battle? That's hurtful. I'm the God and you betrayed me, brother. I'll curse you.
Okay, so I say you challenged me after I supported your battle. That's hurtful. Says I'm the God and you betrayed me, brother. I'll curse you. Cain and Abel. You should know the story by now. If you don't know the story, ask your grandma, dude. Like or read a book. I don't.
Rest in peace to the greatest artist of all time. I'll leave handprints on your face till it's black and purple. You'll be an artist formerly known as Shady, and the symbol of his death will be universal.
Okay, so rest in peace to the greatest artist of all time. I leave handprints on his face till it's black and purple. Prince, I'm referring to Prince at the time, and still now, I think Prince is one of the greatest artists of all time. Handprints on your face till it's black and purple. He'll be known as the artist formerly known as, if you know anything about Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, formerly... Jesus Christ, I forgot what I said already. Oh my God. Okay.
And prints on your face till it's black and purple. You'll be an artist formerly known as Shady, and the symbol of his death will be universal.
The symbol of his death will be universal. The symbol of his death will be everybody. Basically, everybody will know his death. And Universal exploited Prince after he died with his masters and everything. Or I don't remember the story, but basically Universal exploited Prince, and Prince turned himself into a symbol as well. So yeah. And also the symbol is, I think, if I remember correctly, the symbol is like both genders. So it's also a universal sign for both genders. So that's, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong on that.
Florida dropped. People supported on and off with me, and bought some merch too. Taking pics in front of their cars, doing their own commercials. I know this guy who was a fan of me, a stan of me. I treated him like family, a supportive dude. Supported Dow like a true stan would do. Who is that guy? I wonder who. Wait, come to think of it, it was you.
All right, so I could rush through this one. So it's pretty straightforward. Jordan drop. People were taking pics. There's a picture of Shady supporting me, taking a picture with the Dow shirt. Shout out to him for doing that. Really supportive dude, good dude. Of course, we're battling. Have to preface that too. So people making they're doing all this stuff, and I say, I know someone who was a fan of me, a stan of me. I treated him like family. He did stuff that a true stan would do. And that, if you listen to Stan by Eminem, I'm like, oh wait, not come think of it, it was you referencing Stan and calling him a stan. Pretty straightforward.
Don't tell me you're one of my haters now, little bro. The ones in Discord chat who sent my quotes below. The ones switch my name even though for years I've been ghost. I must have made them so mad they went slow. I gave them Down syndrome. I
said, don't tell me you're one of my haters now, little bro. The ones who hate on me, then send my quotes below. The ones that I'm butchering the line. I've been dope. I must have made them so mad they went slow. I gave them Dow syndrome. Dow, my saying, and Dow sounds like Down syndrome. You should know.
Hey, back to support my haters. I ignore your opinion. You are despicable to me. You never grew up. You're a minion.
You came up to support my haters. I ignore your opinion. What I say? Bro.
I know this guy who was a fan of me, a stan of me. I do switch my name even though for years I've been ghost. I must have made them so mad they went slow. I gave them Down syndrome. Since you came back to support my haters, I ignore your opinion. You are despicable to me.
All right. Since you came back to support my haters, I ignore your opinion. You are despicable to me. You never grew up your minion. Hold on.
Up your minion, Matt. Hey, come to think of it, it was you. Don't tell me you're one of my haters
I don't
now,
put you
little
on.
bro. The ones in Discord chat who said my quotes below. The ones what's my name, even though for years I've been ghost. I was made up so mad they went slow. I gave them Down syndrome. Did you came back to support my haters? I ignore your opinion. You are despicable to me. You never grew up. You're a minion.
All right, so yeah, you are despicable. I ignore your opinion. You are despicable to me. You never grew up. You're a minion. Despicable Me. Gru's a villain. If you haven't seen the movie, it's a pretty good movie. Pharrell Williams produced the fourth one, like as far as like the sound. So, Gru, you're a minion. Yeah.
You know I'm livid. You oversell your lack of skills. You call yourself spitting. You can't connect your lines in this call because you ain't got bars to begin with.
You over promote your bars. I'm gonna butcher the line. You over promote your bars, to make it sound like you spitting. You won't connect lines in this call. We're on a Discord call. You won't connect your lines in this call because you never had bars to begin with. Call, bars, connect lines. It's all part of a scheme. Just rush into a one-liner.
Man, every bar that I got, it means something. That's why it's great entertainment. Why you act like you don't care about battle rap, then care about battle rap? You should embrace it. You're bilingual, can rap in Spanish? Wow, that's amazing. Maybe when you lose this round, you should change your language. No one knows what you're saying makes it, so they're unable to participate in the vote. And you and Sway can debate it. And once the battle is over, no one wins because we don't know what you're saying. Bro, all right.
That's pretty funny. Basically, in his battle with Swath, he said that he could battle rap in Spanish and in English. And basically, what I say was like, oh, you could rap it both. That's amazing. Like, okay, maybe you could rap when you lose this battle. You could go debate how you want it in Spanish, and everyone will agree with you because we don't know what you're saying. It's basically what I'm saying. Pretty funny, right? It's like basically I'm saying like that's a useless skill in this case, right? Like how is that gonna help you? Like maybe when you lose, you can debate it, and then we don't know what you're saying. You're like, it must be good, you know? That's basically what I'm saying there.
I'm the most hated. You're the crowd favorite. Okay, then. I'm battling a crowd and you. This fair, ain't it? Even in the press conference, you stopped talking, had your boyfriend make statements. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a ghostwriter you kept paying, and the only creative input you gave was making changes. You need a handicap to have a fight.
So, yeah, if you're there, the face-off that Jay and I had is down now, which kind of sucks. But basically what I'm saying is you're the crowd. I'm the most hated. You're the crowd favorite. Okay, then. A lot of great rhyming there, in my opinion, at least. In the face-off, in the press conference, you had your boyfriend Kay was there. Kay was hyping him up, was supporting him at the time, and was basically giving him. And I'm like, at this point, with all the support you have, you probably have a ghostwriter at this point, and the only thing you do is make changes to what they give you. Is what I'm saying. A lot of rhyming. Some people get confused and boggled up in the rhyming, so I guess that's something to break down too.
Because your basic lines that are cringe is so tasteless, bro.
Those are kids are so
have
tasteless.
Useless lines.
Useless lines.
Saying you're the Black Jesus. You called your last opponent sushi because he's fishy. Oh, that's cute. Well, since we're bringing race in the mix, I'm half Asian, so if you're a sushi chef, I still out rap you.
Okay, so I'm basically saying to Shady he has useless lines. He called himself the Black Jesus. You called your opponent sushi because he's fishy. Oh, that's cute. Or since we're bringing race in the mix, I'm half Asian, so if you're a sushi chef, I still out rap you. Rap like sushi and then rap like rapping. Pretty straightforward.
Know what other awkward lines you're gonna say next. I wonder how much stutters you're gonna have. I want to know if you still think you're the best, even when I come back. You rap like you're about to forget your train of thought. That's why you can't hop on tracks, because before Cardi B, you looked at a beat like, how do I ride on that?
Okay, so basically, I'm saying Shady had a tendency, and it's not because I'm underprepared, I guess, or maybe it is probably because of a lack of preparation, or maybe it's just he's just busy or whatever. But me, I'm very, especially when it comes to battle rap, I'm very big on delivery. And Shady, and it's not really that big of a deal, but I'm gonna exaggerate it because I'm battling him. And some people at the time like voted for me because of this part. Was basically I'm saying that you stutter on you rap like you stutter a lot, and you rap like you're about to forget your train of thought, which is why you can't hop on tracks. So I'm saying he can't rap on beat, and he raps like you basically you have no flow and you stutter or whatever. And because before Cardi B, he has that moment where he raps on Cardi B. You looked at a beat like, how do I ride on that? Going back to the train analogy, going back to the tracks analogy, how do I ride on that? Cardi B, all that kind of stuff, the stuttering, so just wrapping up the scheme there.
Oh, you think a punchline here and there makes cool rapping? Trying to portray this alpha male status who's strapped with street baggage, but your name was never stamped on a harsh street address. Even if you have a message to send, handling it wrong makes it seem average. In other words, with trash delivery, you can never be the full package. But wait,
that is so fire to me. I don't know. That part was so fire. I remember I wrote that and I thought it was fire, and I still think it's fire. Hold on.
Stamped.
What I say?
Street address, even if you have a message to
Could I connect the street hustling thing and the stuttering and make it one? It's crazy.
You can't hop on tracks because before Cardi B, look at a beat like how do I ride on that? I know you think a punchline here and there makes cool rapping. Trying to portray this alpha male status.
I know a punchline here and I know you think a punchline here and there makes cool rapping. Trying to portray this alpha male status.
Who's strapped with street baggage.
Like you're strapped with street baggage.
Your name was never
but your name was never stamped on a harsh street. But your name was never stamped on a harsh street address.
See, even if you have a message to send.
See, even if you have a message to send, handling it wrong makes it seem average. Makes it seem average. In other words, with trash delivery, you'll never be the full package. That to me is so hard. Basically saying that like the way you handle your bars, the way you say your bars, going off of the stuttering thing, your delivery basically like you're going to go back to your punchlines. You're gonna reference your punchlines or whatever, but like you're gonna reference your punchlines and act so street. But the thing is, you have never been stamped on a harsh street address. So even if you have a message to send in your bars, your punchlines and your street way or whatever on a harsh street address, see with trash delivery, because you say it and I'm saying it's trash. His delivery is not trash. I'm just of course exaggerating it. With trash delivery, you'll never be the full package. You'll never be the full MC, and you're not really street. That's what I'll say. I think it was very, 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 very witty, very, very well written. I really like that line. All right. Or that scheme.
You can never be the full package. But wait a minute. Why did I mention mail? It's 2024. Our technology is way past this. Well, email works too because he brags about being near someone else who's great at rapping. In other words, he only has the drive to make attachments. You're a waste.
Okay, so I really like that too. I see what I said. Wait, but why am I mentioning mail? It's 2024. 2024. Our technology is way past this. Well, email works too. What did I say? Well, email work. I think it's a funny thing to add on to the idea. Hold on.
To make attachments. You're way past this. Well, email works too because he brags about being near someone else who's great at rapping. In other words,
So I said email works too because he only brags about being near someone else who's great at rapping. In other words, he only has the drive to make attachments. He only has the will to attach to someone else who's great at rapping. This is referencing the hollow photo that he has. It's a great, dope photo. Shout out to Hollow Dawn for doing that. Hollow Dawn's a great dude as well. It's a great photo to have. But of course, you're battling once again. So like you don't have the drive to make attachments. Going off of the mail line into the email, you only have the drive to make and drive Google Drive attachments attached to the email. You only have the drive to make attachments. It's pretty straightforward if you think about it a little bit. But once again, I'm rapping at a fast pace. There's a lot of ideas going on, and I don't think people that are not really into that it will fly over their heads. But that's okay. That's why I'm doing this. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is to show my craft and give it the attention I think it deserves, and to help people really understand and look at rap a different way. That there is a lot of creativity happening into these words from a literary perspective. So, yeah, let's go ahead.
Has the drive to make attachments. You're a waste of space.
And then add it on. You're a waste of space. Add it on at the end of that.
Underground hip hop fan until you decide to rap. When you rap, it's about chains and cash, but you're a fan of cannabis and hollow. Both put money behind their back, behind loyalty to the craft. You are.
So basically, you fake that you're. I'm butcher. I'm not even gonna say a line because the idea is straightforward. You're underground fan until you decide to rap. Like you're an underground fan, you know, beyond the materialism until you decide to rap. But you're a fan of Cannabis and Hollow. Both put money behind their back, behind loyalty to the craft. So like you're faking, but you're doing the materialistic thing, but you're faking. Yeah.
Not that great. Your rhymes are average and they're weak. Me, I can battle in the chat or battle on the street. You're some tough battle rapper now, but you are known for having rapper memes. You ain't a god. You're a man who doesn't practice what he preaches. But I get though.
Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. Like you're a tough battle rapper now, but you're posting battle rapper memes. You're not a god. You're a man who doesn't practice what he preach. It's simple. I mean,
I get it. Everyone evolves, but most will do complete 180s. Just like me, plenty people have crazy ideas. Most not too crazy. A lot of people in my life go. Most don't betray me, and that's proof that behind the scenes people do dirt, but they're not too shady. And you are shady. Two-Face calling me out.
that line was okay. I thought it was better at the time. That line was okay. I mean, the whole thing is like people betray me. I have crazy ideas, but not too crazy. It's like, and that's proof that most don't betray me. That people have their ways, but they're not too shady, and you are shady. Like on his name, call him a shady person. Yeah, it's alright. It's like.
You beat a stupid white boy with anxiety, and now you think you can step to me. This internet battle scene got you speaking recklessly. I'm old school. I'll whoop that kid shady for disrespecting me.
I like the delivery on that line, but the line obviously is funny. It said you beat a we're referencing SWAT this. I said you beat a stupid white boy with anxiety, and now you think you can step to me. I'm old school. I'll whoop that kid shady because TK shady stands for that kid. That kid shady for disrespecting me. Just a little funny like Woody line, you know.
I'm gonna say. Why you online dissing me? Shouldn't you be taking care of your kid? Bro, my daughter's in school. Her mother graduated because of things that I did. Put some respect to my name. I selflessly sacrificed to put my family through. Now I'm coming back to discipline my first son, who is you. So talk about your money and how your pockets expand. I worked many hours to put Jasmine in school and put cash in her hand. Now I'm going back to school. Watch how I will advance. So you could be the gorilla glue. I'll stick to evolving as a man.
I love that line. All right, so I love that line still. So what I said there, I don't have to say line by line to rhyme it, but I said what he's gonna say, why you're online dissing me, shouldn't be taking care of your kid. I'm like, bro, I did everything I could. I helped Jasmine go back to school. At the time I was going back to school. Now I'm not. I decided to pursue the music full time. So that part aged poorly. So that part aged poorly, but I said what I like about it was I worked hard to put her through school and put cash in her hand, so you could be the gorilla glue, because he said he's the gorilla glue in SWAT battle. I said you could be the gorilla glue. I'll stick to evolving as a man. Basically, you could be the gorilla glue. You're the gorilla glue that keeps the culture together, is what he said. I'll stick to, you're obviously the glue, and evolving as a man, from the gorilla to a man. That I thought was really, really fire.
Something, you should stick to not rapping and being a battle rap groupie. You killed Golden Gamer, some singer, and your last opponent is always losing. So why you brag about your wins like it's supposed to amuse me? You're only known for killing white kids like the Sinister movies. But you got that comment.
That was funny. He's known for battling all these white kids, you know, and winning. I said, why are you battling me like it's supposed to amuse me? You're only known for killing white kids like the Sinister movie. Sinister, the horror flick. I thought that was pretty funny.
You're popping on YouTube. The views are constantly moving. But if we get more views than you had in your last battle, you got to give props to me, because they knew I would kill you. And the funeral was ensuing, so they had to wake up, see my name, and come for the viewing.
That line aged poorly, because Shady and Swat's battle is viewed more than ours. But that line aged poorly. Basically, what I was saying is like, you're doing your thing on YouTube. Yeah. I see you're improving. But this is gonna get more views because they knew I would kill you, so they had to show up. What did I say? So they had to.
You got to give props to me, because they knew I would kill you.
They knew I would
and
kill you.
The funeral was ensuing, so they had to wake up, see my name, and come for the view.
So the funeral was ensuing, so they had to wake up, like a wake-up funeral, see my name, and come for the viewing of the body and the viewing of. Yeah, that double entendre was not that good. Could have won without it. It wasn't that good.
You are light work, Shady. No pun intended, but this shouldn't be a shock to you. I got an idea. How about you forfeit now while you still got some spark in you? Why you're so tapped in, acting like you're empowering anything? It used to be positive vibes, but this current time you're giving me negative energy. Isn't it conventional to spread positivity? I guess you gotta engineer a different image to seem brighter intellectually, and I know what y'all wondering. Why let him go second? He can rebuttal now. Isn't that a risk? I could see positive vibes, but this current time you're giving me negative.
So I think the scheme was cool, but it was for the wrong person.
An idea.
So
how about you forfeit now while you still got some spark in you? Why you're so tapped in?
So your light work, Shady. I got an idea. I got to read it line by line to break down the scheme. But I think it would have been better for another person.
You got to give props to me because they knew I would kill you, and the funeral was ensuing, so they had to wake up, see my name, and come for the viewing. You were light work, Shady.
You were light work, Shady.
No pun intended, but this shouldn't be a shock.
No pun intended, but this shouldn't be a shock to you.
How about you forfeit now?
I got an idea. I got an idea. Your light work, Shady. No pun intended, but this shouldn't be a shock to you. Shot light work. I got an idea, light bulb. I got an idea. How about you forfeit now while you still got some spark in you?
Why you're so tapped in?
Why you're so tapped in?
Like you're empowering anything.
Acting like you're empowering anything.
Positive vibes, but this current.
This used to be positive vibes, but this current time.
You're giving me negative energy.
You're giving me negative energy. Current negative energy. Light bulb. You're giving me negative energy.
Isn't it conventional?
Isn't it conventional to spread positivity?
I guess you gotta engineer a different image to seem brighter intellectually.
I guess you gotta engineer a different image to seem brighter intellectually, to seem smarter than what, smarter than what he is. The scheme is cool. I give myself props for that, but the ending could have been as someone who tries to come across more conscious. That's my critique on that. But I did like the way it was written.
Know what y'all wondering? Why let him go second? He can rebuttal now. Isn't that a risk? I'll concede it probably is, but consider this. Every time he rebuttals, he stops awkwardly, then he starts to spit. So y'all gonna hear him stuttering a lot more, afraid his freestyles won't make sense. You see, I won a tournament with barely any writtens. Now I'm known as a dope freestyler. But when I come out swinging, it's because I'm prepped that bat, man, and that's my true power. And I know you're gonna talk about a low view count on YouTube and only use one source. No.
All right. So, basically, I went first. I volunteered to go first. He allowed it to happen. And then basically why I did that was he said, he could rebuttal now. Isn't that a risk? And I said he's going to stop awkwardly before he rebuttals. It was funny. He told me a story. At the end of this round, he goes in. He says, okay, let's go. And he rushes the reaction because he doesn't want to forget his rebuttals. I think it's probably because of that. I said that, so he's a very lyrical driven dude. So he's like, okay, now I'm not gonna forget my rebuttals, and it added more pressure. And he had some stutters later on, but once again, it wasn't that big of a deal. But of course, I'm exaggerating because we're battling. But it made him like go. So it was funny. And then I like the line at the end, the punch at the end, where I said, when it comes to preparation, or when it comes to something to prep, I'm always prepped at Batman, and that's my true power. Batman's true power is prepping. So I thought that was pretty good angling on my part. It was pretty funny too.
Counting the thousands of streams I get across all platforms, but nah. He said I never been interviewed. Shout out to hashtag Blackout Podcast. Should I say more? I'll admit though, I'm inconsistent with promotion. I get distracted and change course. But didn't you say you listened to my whole discography one day when you got bored? Bro, you won this fight so much you lied to get your fan support. Fronting like the Akatsuki. Doing all these tricks to plan a war. Are you? So, okay, I'm just posing arguments just to pre-rebuttal him. So basically saying like, you're going to say I have low counts on YouTube, but I have thousands of views on other platforms, which is true. For Discord Kid, there's thousands of plays across all the platforms combined. And then he said I'd never been interviewed. I shout out to hashtag Blackout Podcast. They were actually my first interview that I ever did a long time ago. It's still on YouTube. You guys can look that up. And I'm saying, yeah, it's consistent with promotion. I get distracted, change course. At the time, I was having a kid, and I was a teenager when I first started posting my art. So, like, yeah, I'm going to be distracted. I'm an adult now, so I'm not as distracted. I'm still trying to get my sea legs, as I said earlier. But, yeah, get my footing. But, I get distracted and change course. But didn't you say you listened to my whole discography and you got bored? Like you admit that I got that. Basically what I'm saying. You but admit that I got that. And then I had the line for all the Naruto fans out there. I said this guy's like an Akatsuki, plotting all this just to start a war. Or what would I say? Exactly. Hashtag Blackout Podcast. Should I say more? I'll admit though, I'm inconsistent with promotion. I get distracted and change course. But didn't you say You listened to my whole discography one day when you got bored. Bro, you wanted this fight so much you lied to get your fan support. Fronting like the Akatsuki.
Oh yeah, okay. So you lied so much. You wanted to battle so much you lied to get your fan support. Fronting like the Akatsuki, doing all these tricks to plan a war. If you know Naruto, whatever the Akatsuki, yeah.
Doing all these tricks to plan a war. All you do is cry when you lose. Listen to it again. Listen to it again. Supporting you is such a chore. If you weren't such a crybaby, you would literally be ignored. Down. I said that with the same energy, and it's a vibe.
Yeah, saying he's a crybaby. You know, he likes to debate if he won. Of course, I'm exaggerating, making it sound like he likes to debate if he won. All bad rappers do that, besides a very handful. But yeah.
Down. I said so you know it's me saying time. You can't ever kill me, Shady. I live forever in your mind. Funny, you said you felt like you were battling Trump to that other guy. Now you battling someone who's dropping a project in 2025. Down.
So at the time, Project 2025, I was using the battle to promote it. I said, Dow. I say because it's mine or whatever. I say it to say time. You said that you were battling Trump to that other guy. Now you're battling someone who's dropping a Project 2025 and my project name 2025. Check out Project 2025 on all platforms besides SoundCloud.
In other words, time.
Down, in other words, time. So there we go. 51 minutes to break down one round. Oh, wait, no. I think the first 10 minutes I was talking. So, like, 40 minutes to break down one round of mine. And I would not say I'm the most complex writer out there. I would not say I'm the most dense writer out there. Right? So, I wanted to break it down with as much care as possible, my rounds, because I understand my rounds and, you know, in my thought process through it. So I want to do that to show you guys an example of how bar breakdowns typically are, especially when it comes to dense material and just material in general. And hopefully this inspires people not only to check out my work, but to check out other artists' work and expand their minds to different ways of writing and different ways of just consuming art. All right, so I think I did enough talking here, did enough analysis. You guys heard my voice enough of my thoughts. Dow. Check out Project 2025. Check out Jordan. Check out Manny Mackens. Check out President Mackens. And check out Manny Mackens. There's a whole evolution of thought, a whole evolution of production, music, and experimentation. It's going to take a lot, guys. You're going to have to sit there and actually pay attention to the music. Very few people have seen me perform live. I want to work on that too. I want to work on doing it live, because when you see the vision live, you see me live doing it, it's a different experience. All right, I know loud hip-hop music is not headphone music to the majority of people, especially one that music that has so much lyrical density and substance. I get that. It's not for everyone. You know, I'm not saying that if you don't like it, you're automatically dumb. But I think if you disregard it and, you know, try to plan smear campaigns to put it down, I think you're kind of dumb, because you're preventing other people from listening to it because you feel insecure about your intelligence. But here's just an example of how to do it. Once again, you could disagree with it, you could whatever, and this is not another thing. I said this before, but I want to say it again in case people missed it. It's not to sway anybody's opinion. People have me losing that round. People have me winning that round. You don't have to sway your opinion. I just want people to understand how other minds can work, or a deeper mind in literature could work. And some people say that, you know, it shouldn't be that deep. It's just rap. I'm not trying to change philosophy, but I'm exposing you to mine. All right, Dow.